Have you ever wondered what could happen if imagination and creativity spilled onto the streets? Well, once upon a sunny afternoon, there was a young boy named Aras, who was deeply engrossed in inspecting his ball in the garden. His friends, Asya, Aras, and Denise, were passionately creating street art in the middle of the road. Denise, in her artistic fervor, asked for a red chalk. Not getting a response, she continued to sketch her giant dragon. Asya reluctantly handed over the red chalk, mentioning she was coloring mushrooms and wanted to finish. For a week, Aras and his friends had been transforming the street into a vibrant jungle, filled with purple and green palm trees, green-spotted tigers, and even a winged giraffe. On the other side, Cactus and Zuhal were so engrossed in coloring a centipede, they didn't notice the star-studded sports shoes that appeared among them. Looking up, they were surprised to see Aras. Cactus, with a hint of annoyance, asked Aras to move away from the centipede. Aras, taken aback by the sight of the centipede, couldn't utter a word. He ran home, locked himself up in his room, and collapsed onto his bed. His father, curious about Aras's sudden retreat, knocked on his door and asked him why he wasn't outside with his friends, leaving his drawing incomplete. Aras, grumbling, refused to go out. His father then suggested he invite his friends over to play new computer games, but Aras, who didn't like sharing his toys and games, declined. Aras, despite having the most toys among his friends, was fearful of the centipede and refused to share his toys with Cactus and Zuhal due to his annoyance. Suddenly, an idea popped into Aras's head. He ran to his toys, collected all his water guns, filled them up with the help of his father, and dashed back to the street. Zuhal, unaware of what was about to happen, was still working on the centipede's last leg, while the other friends were chatting in the middle of their painted jungle. Just as Cactus complained about running out of paint on the 40th leg of the centipede, Aras reappeared. He expressed fake sympathy and started to spray water on all the drawings, ruining them completely. His friend's tears didn't affect Aras, who was laughing heartily when his father appeared. His father, disappointed, asked Aras to apologize. Reluctantly, Aras apologized, justifying his actions by saying he was scared of the centipede and didn't like the color of the mushrooms and the purple tree. His father then promised to buy paints for everyone to repaint the street the next day. However, his friends, still distrusting Aras, demanded a promise from him not to use the water guns on the paints. Reluctantly, Aras agreed, and everyone went back to their homes, drenched and covered in paint. The next morning, Aras was the first one out on the street, happily painting with the new colors. And that's the story of how a neighborhood street turned into a canvas for young imagination. So, what's the takeaway here? Creativity knows no bounds, and sometimes it just needs a little bit of chalk, a lot of imagination, and a street to come to life. But remember, respect for others' work and feelings is as important as expressing your creativity. Now go unleash your imagination and paint your world, just like Aras and his friends did.